Oh, look at little
PlayStation.
Junior. Gonna cry?
I'm going to do what's called a pro gamer move.
Alright, welcome everyone. So today I am going to be helping you with the rundown on Microsoft buying Zenimax and what that means for the future of gaming and all the nitty-gritty little details as to what might happen due to this purchase. I should probably give you guys a rundown of my own personal biases, so I know what you're thinking. Oh, are you a PlayStation fanboy who's angry, or are you an Xbox fanboy who's gonna rub it in?
Phrasing?
Right now, I currently own a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One, and I just got an Alienware PC. So I'm all over the place, baby. In the past, I own a PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 4, which I already mentioned, an original Xbox 360, and Xbox One, which I also mentioned. But when it comes to PlayStation and Xbox, if I absolutely had to choose one, I do prefer Xbox. But I will concede that when it comes to the Xbox One and PS4, PS4 spanked Xbox.
You are going to learn to be more professional, Luke! That's what you're going to do, Luke!
When it comes to this current generation of consoles, PlayStation 4 won the war like crazy. It was sad. A very sad performance by Xbox One. And now with the upcoming Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, it looks like it's going to be the exact opposite, and Xbox is going to be spanking PlayStation.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
You are going to learn to be more professional, Luke!
So, many of you might already know this, but Xbox, or rather Microsoft, purchased Zenimax. And what's important is that Zenimax owns a lot of smaller companies that make games. So, let's do a quick little rundown of some of the companies under Zenimax that Microsoft has just acquired. So, you got Bethesda Game Studios, which has given us games like the Elder Scrolls series, and of course the popular Fallout series, such as Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And I think that's it. I don't think we've gotten another Fallout game from Bethesda, but I'm sure if we did, it would be a fantastic bug-free game at release. Anyway, so you got the Elder Scrolls series, Fallout, and then the much-anticipated Starfield series. Then you've got Arcane, which has the Dishonored franchise. Dishonored 1, 2, Death of the Outsider. Then you got Prey, and the soon-to-be-released Deathloop, which is a PS exclusive. And then you've got id Software, which has published every game. And made Rage 1 and 2 and every Quake game. Then you've got Machine Games, which has given us the Wolfenstein series, which is awesome because I love Wolfenstein. I love the new Wolfenstein games, 1 and 2. They did make the one that we do not speak of or mention on this channel, but that's beside the point. The other Wolfenstein games are excellent, and I do not know why, but everyone has talked about Machine Games, Arcane, id, Bethesda. I have not heard a single fucking person mention Tango Gameworks, which has given us one of my favorite game series, and especially horror game series of all time, The Evil Within. The Evil Within 1 and The Evil Within 2, which I think is one of the best games of the last 10 years. But that's beside the point. Microsoft, let me lay this out for you real quick. If we don't get Evil Within 3 in the next 5 or 6 years, I'm coming for you, Microsoft. I'm fucking coming for you.
Hey, phrasing!
And then there's a couple of other smaller studios that they own, but the big ones are Bethesda Game Studios, Arcane, id Software, Machine Games, and Tango Gameworks. Those are the big ones you want to focus on. Real quick, before we get into the news, before we get into what this means for Xbox, let's just look a little bit into what the beginning of this next console war entails.
I have to admit that without
Bethesda.
it would not have been a victory.
Victory? Victory, you say? Master Obi-Wan, not victory. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun.
The console war.
Has.
For a lot of people, backwards compatibility is a very, very important thing, because on your Xbox Series X and your PlayStation 5, you're going to want to come back to some of the classics, or maybe even play some classics that you never played before. Well, if you have an Xbox Series X, every game that is backwards compatible on Xbox One, which is a lot of games, let me tell you, those are also going to be compatible on Xbox Series X. So you can tell that for Xbox, backwards compatibility is a very important topic. But when it comes to PlayStation, not so much.
PS3, the PS2, the PS1 ain't gonna be no fucking backwards compatible. I wanted them to get some chip emulators in there. I wanted them to go all out so that they could really like make this the console of a lifetime to own.
But instead, now they can sell you the games on their digital network, and then you can buy them again. Because why would I don't want you to play the games you're already on. I want you to buy them again.
Son of a bitch! If you want to impress me and you want to gain bonus points, make that shit backwards compatible with previous consoles.
Agreed.
Like the Xbox.
It is 2020.
They seem to be handling PS4 backwards compatibility pretty well, but with PS3, PS2, and PS1 games, if you're hoping to play those on PS5, for now at least, you're going to have no luck on that front. But who's to say that down the line we won't see PS3 2-in-1 games be emulated on PS5 via a software update? That's certainly a possibility. So I wouldn't entirely rule out backwards compatibility for PS3 2-in-1, but as far as we know right now, backwards compatibility is just not going to be a thing for the older generations of PlayStation before PS4.
Fuck you.
Then you look at the game prices. Let me tell you, PlayStation, they are all aboard the hype train for $70 a game.
And so let's talk about some more Sony bad news. Sony is apparently embracing increased next-gen software pricing. Demon Souls and Destruction All Stars will cost $70 as PlayStation 5.
You said whoa!
He said it.
Well, I was no. Just tell me what.
So Sony is embracing increased next-gen software pricing. $70 PS5 games.
No.
Karate.
I don't make the prices.
No.
You knew it was coming.
Bad Sony. No.
They need the money.
This is why nobody did it. This is like everybody was waiting, kind of seeing how gamers are going to react. $70 games.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not going to be $70 for all games because the devs still have the ability to control how much their games cost, but it looks like the ones that are owned by Sony properties are seeing that increase. And so the $60 AAA game, I think, is going to be something of the past.
Where's the booze? There's no fucking booze.
This one. Wait, no, it's crickets.
No, there's no booze. Wah is the closest. No!
Thanks for the money, dummies, because that's exactly what you fucking are. A bunch of fucking empty-headed idiots who paid me money.
Microsoft, not as much, but we still have yet to see where that's going. But PlayStation is leaning very heavily into the $70 per game. Oh, and let's not even talk about Game Pass, which Xbox has been smoking PlayStation on. $15 a month for so many good games. Game Pass is one of the best gaming deals you could ask for. Okay, now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the Zenimax deal with Microsoft. So, Microsoft spent $7.5 billion to acquire Zenimax. And so a lot of people are wondering what that's going to entail as to exclusives. Because if there's anything PlayStation smoked Xbox One on, it was the exclusives. Particularly God of War and Spider-Man. Those were two of my favorites. Those are such good games. But now, Xbox acquired a huge backlog of game series. Are you wondering what Xbox is going to do with them? Here's a couple of options. Option A is Microsoft makes every Bethesda game franchise an Xbox exclusive. So that means Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls 6, Starfield, Dishonored 3, Doom 3, Rage 3, Evil Within 3, all of these become Xbox exclusives. Now, what are the pros of doing this? Well, the pros of this are that Xbox is going to be dead even with PlayStation 4 exclusives, if not way above them, depending on what kind of games you like. Like, sure, they might have God of War 2 and Spider-Man 2, but if you're really excited for Starfield or Fallout 5, you might be a little incentivized to go get yourself an Xbox Series X instead of a PlayStation 5. If these games all become exclusives, Xbox Series X is going to sell like hotcakes. But one of the cons of this is now that Xbox owns ZeniMax, that means all the money that Bethesda and all the games under ZeniMax make goes to Xbox. So you're going to be losing a whole avenue for revenue if you do this. So sure, maybe you'll sell a lot more Xbox consoles, but you're also going to be selling a lot less games because no one on PS4 is going to be able to purchase those games. So Xbox has to kind of weigh the scales and see what they're going to do with that. But if they don't want to do that, there's also option B, which is continue to release every game under ZeniMax and Bethesda on all platforms, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So what are the pros of this? The pros for sweaty PS4 gamers is that they get to continue to play some of their favorite franchises. One of the pros for Microsoft is that they get some of that sweet PlayStation money. So you might have a sweaty PlayStation fanboy who's like, I hate Microsoft, I hate Xbox, PlayStation's the way to go. But then when they go online to go buy Starfield for $60, that money is going to go right into Microsoft's pocket.
Thanks for the money, dummies.
So all the PlayStation fanboys, just Xbox is going to be pocketing that money. Come on, step up, next PlayStation fanboy. You want Fallout 5? All right, step up, $60. Thank you. So if they release every game on PlayStation and Xbox, well, sure, there's not going to be any exclusives, but Xbox is going to be making a lot more money. Then the con of this option is that there's no exclusives for Xbox. So you might not be as incentivized to buy the Xbox Series X if you were more of a PlayStation fanboy. But then there's option C, which is a middle ground between A and B, where they don't make every game an Xbox exclusive, but they also don't make every game multi-platform. This way, Xbox can release some of the bigger games multi-platform on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. So Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls 6, maybe even Doom 3. I would say you would definitely be able to expect the next Fallout and Elder Scrolls multi-platform. So then Xbox could get some of that sweet PlayStation money. But I would not be surprised if some of the newer games from Bethesda become Xbox exclusives, such as Starfield. So the Fallout and Elder Scrolls series have been on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, but Starfield, on the other hand, is a brand new IP. Starfield doesn't have an audience because this is the first game in its series. So I would not be surprised at all if Xbox made Starfield an Xbox exclusive. Doom is an established franchise that has been on both, but I would not be surprised if Doom 3 became an Xbox exclusive. You see where I'm going here? So some of the bigger ones like Fallout, Elder Scrolls, those definitely, both platforms. But then some of the smaller ones like Doom 3, maybe Dishonored 3, or even Evil Within 3, those become Xbox exclusives. So you're in the middle. You got to make some PlayStation money, and you got to incentivize some people to come buy your console if they're big Doom fans or Evil Within fans, etc. But another option under option C is that Microsoft or Xbox can just use some of these studios to make brand new IPs. id Software made Rage, Quake, and Doom, so they could commission a brand new video game series from id Software that goes exclusively on Xbox. And if you ask me, I think option C, this option where some games get released multi-platform and some games are Xbox exclusives, this is the best option.
I choose number C.
You can't choose number C.
I choose number C.
You have to.
I choose number.
To either see it.
I'm gonna bubble in the number C and go on about my life.
This is the best option, not only for Microsoft but also for the consumer, and I think this is what they're gonna go with. Don't be surprised if we get a new Fallout game from Obsidian, who made the original Fallout New Vegas. It might not be called Fallout New Vegas 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got something like Fallout New Mexico or something. That would be awesome. And you know, now that Fallout 76 is out, maybe we'll get a sequel to the greatest game ever made in Fallout 76 2 or Fallout 77. Alright, that's just a bit of a joke, but those are the main options as to what's going to happen with exclusives. One of those three is definitely going to be it. If you ask me, it's option 3 or C or whatever I said earlier in the video. Another plus is that Bethesda has kind of fallen in grace for a lot of people after the absolute shit show that was Fallout 76. But now, with Microsoft in charge, I mean, they might encourage the companies to work much more efficiently. Maybe we're not going to get games that are as buggy at release as most Bethesda games are, especially Fallout 76. So with Microsoft pumping some of that Microsoft money in there, I'd say you could expect a lot of these games to get better. And another thing that I think is going to put the Xbox Series X above PlayStation 5 is consumer friendliness. Now, Xbox Series X, they're going all in with backwards compatibility. PlayStation's trying to go all in for that $70 for new games. Microsoft, not as much. Halo Infinite. Halo. When everyone talks about PlayStation exclusives, what does Microsoft have? Mostly Halo. This is their flagship series. Before even purchasing Bethesda, not only is the multiplayer for Halo Infinite going to be free to play, but day fucking one, Halo Infinite is going to be on Game Pass. For $15, you can play Halo Infinite on release through the entire campaign, and the multiplayer is free. If that's not consumer friendliness, I don't know what the fuck is. Plus, regarding Game Pass, you can expect to see all of Bethesda's old games on Game Pass. One of the negatives that you could say about Xbox Game Pass is that, it's like Netflix, and so some of my favorite games are just going to leave, and games are going to be in and out. They could put the entire Bethesda library, and since they own Bethesda and all these companies, you could expect to see, and I guarantee you this is going to happen, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim, Dishonored 1 and 2, Prey, Doom 1 and 2, Rage 1 and 2, Evil Within 1 and 2, and the Wolfenstein series. I guarantee you those are all going to be permanently on the Game Pass because Xbox wants people to come over and they want them to get Game Pass. These are flagship series. They're just going to stay on Game Pass. They're slowly going to drip feed them. And they've already stated that Doom Eternal is the first game that is going to be coming in and going to permanently stay on Game Pass on October 1st. So that is insane. I've never played Oblivion, so I'm excited to play that. Some of these games are also already on Game Pass. They may have taken it out, but I know Fallout 4 was on Game Pass. Rage 1 was on Game Pass. All these things, I think Xbox, if anything, is winning the upcoming console war, and it's not even here yet. And I'm excited because this is going to force PlayStation to step their game up. Good competition is what gives us consumers better products. So, and not even I didn't even mention that since Halo Infinite is going to be on Game Pass day one, can you imagine Elder Scrolls 6 on Game Pass day one, Fallout 5 on Game Pass day one, Doom 3 Game Pass day one. Now, if Evil Within 3 comes out, even if it's on Game Pass day one, I'm pre-ordering that bitch because I love the series too fucking much. But still, all these games day one on Game Pass. Can you imagine that? This is crazy. This is insane. I am excited to see what Sony is going to bring to the table to try and combat this, but that's pretty much all you really need to know about this acquisition. I think that's the correct proper term. If I didn't use it right, you know what I mean. Xbox acquiring Zenimax and everything under them. One of the smartest gaming moves we've ever seen. Also one of the most expensive gaming moves we've ever seen. So yeah, I hope I explained everything well. I hope you understand everything a little bit better. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment. Sharing the video would be pretty fucking tubular, bro. And take care, everybody. Bye.